How did we get from this to this? This is the world of abstract art, where representation takes a back seat and raw emotion, ideas, and intuition take center stage. How did art, once about capturing the physical world, evolve into something so free, so experimental? What sparked a shift from depiction to pure expression, something that invites us to feel rather than just see? We'll explore this evolution of abstract painting and uncover how this revolutionary movement came to be.
The evolution of abstract painting explained.
For centuries, art was a mirror to the real world. From the first cave paintings, recording the world around early humans, to the meticulous detail of Renaissance masterpieces that captured anatomy, light, and perspective, art was a mirror of the physical world. But by the late 19th century, a seismic shift began. Artists started to ask, what if art could be more than just representation? What if it could capture not only what we see, but what we feel, think, and experience? This marks the birth of abstract art, an evolution that would redefine the very essence of art, exploring the unseen and delving deep into emotion, thought, and spirituality. Before full abstraction emerged, movements like Impressionism began to challenge the established rules of representation. At the same time, societal changes such as industrialization and urbanization were shaping how people saw the world. Around 1860 in France, artists like Claude Monet and Paul Cézanne began to break away from tradition. They ventured outside to capture the fleeting effects of light and atmosphere, not just the objects themselves. With the invention of photography, was there still a need to depict landscapes with perfect accuracy? These artists weren't just painting what they saw, they were painting what they felt. The Impressionists, with their loose brushstrokes and vibrant use of color, focused on capturing the essence of a moment or impression, not its exact likeness. These works mark the early steps in freeing color and texture, moving away from precise representation toward an inner emotional experience. Parallel to the Impressionists was Post-Impressionism, a movement that pushed even further towards abstraction. Artists like George Seurat with his meticulous pointillism and Vincent van Gogh with his thick, expressive brushstrokes began exploring the emotional potential of color and form. Figures like Paul Gauguin and Toulouse-Lautrec took the movement even further, abandoning the quest for perfect representation in favor of symbolic imagery, bold color choices, and personal expression. For these artists, the canvas was no longer a window into reality. It was a window into the mind and soul of the artist. From about 1898 to 1906 in France, André Derain, Raoul Dufy, and Henri Matisse continued to go a step further and apply brilliant, vivid, and expressive colors to their canvas, with some parts of the canvas even exposed. They emphasized the two-dimensionality of their surface and used color as an expressive tool rather than a realistic one. As the Impressionists before them, they were also criticized, with one critic seeing their work and exclaiming, "Les fauves," which translates to wild beasts. It wasn't a compliment, the name stuck. Fauvism was established. Movements like Fauvism and Expressionism were already pushing the boundaries of art. Henri Matisse's Woman with a Hat and Edvard Munch's The Scream didn't simply depict reality, they communicated emotional states. Their vivid, non-naturalistic use of color paved the way for abstraction, showing that emotion could be as important as subject matter. But here's where we pause to highlight a crucial, often overlooked figure: Swedish artist Hilma af Klint. Long before Kandinsky's celebrated abstract works, Hilma af Klint was already experimenting with abstraction in the early 1900s. Her The 10 Largest series, filled with swirling forms and vibrant color, sought to express spiritual truths beyond the material world. These visionary works are now recognized as some of the first true abstract paintings, though they were largely ignored during her lifetime. Af Klint's pioneering efforts laid the groundwork for abstraction that would follow. By 1907, artists like Pablo Picasso and George Braque radically reshaped how we perceive space and form with Cubism. In works like Les Demoiselles d'Avignon and The Portuguese, they fragmented objects into geometric shapes, showing multiple viewpoints in a single image. Cubism didn't just change how we viewed art, it altered how we saw the world. Then, in 1910, Wassily Kandinsky's works like Improvisation 28 and Composition 7 changed the trajectory of art forever. Kandinsky believed that color, shape, and line could express the deepest emotions and spiritual experiences without needing to depict anything concrete. His abstract compositions were some of the first to focus entirely on the inner world of the artist, bypassing representation altogether. This marked the true birth of abstract art. At first, many people couldn't understand it. Was it still art without recognizable forms? The controversy sparked a new era of artistic exploration. The 1920s then saw the rise of Surrealism, where artists began exploring the unconscious mind, dreams, and the strange interplay between reality and imagination. Figures like Salvador Dali, Max Ernst, and Joan Miro painted scenes that blended the real with the fantastical, inviting viewers to journey into the depths of the subconscious. The 1940s and 50s brought abstract expressionism to the forefront of the New York art scene and put America on the art map. One of its most famous styles, action painting, was pioneered by Jackson Pollock. His works such as Autumn Rhythm and Convergence were not just paintings, they were performances. Pollock used sweeping brushstrokes, drips, and splatters of paint to express raw, visceral energy. For him, the act of painting itself was an emotional release, transforming the canvas into a space of psychological expression. Franz Kline was another action painter during this time. At the same time, another strand of abstract expressionism emerged: color field painting. Artists like Mark Rothko and Barnett Newman focused on color as the sole means of expression, creating vast, immersive fields of color that invited viewers into a contemplative, almost meditative experience. Rothko's luminous color blocks and Newman's expansive canvases conveyed powerful emotional states, speaking directly to the soul. By the 1960s, abstract art had evolved beyond a single style. Its influence ripped through movements like pop art, minimalism, and beyond. In the late 1970s and early 80s, Jean-Michel Basquiat emerged as one of the most dynamic figures in the art world. His raw, expressive works blended abstraction with street art and powerful social commentary on race and identity. Today, abstract art continues to shape global art culture. Artists like Yayoi Kusama, Julie Mehretu, and Takashi Murakami use abstraction to explore everything from obsessive patterns to the complexities of globalization, pushing the boundaries of what art can be. So at this stage, you might be wondering, how do I understand abstract art? And that might be valid. To understand abstract art, start by carefully observing the work from a distance and up close. Notice elements like color, shapes, and composition. Colors can evoke emotions or moods, while shapes may be geometric, organic, or chaotic, sometimes referencing the natural or man-made world. Consider the structure, whether the composition is symmetrical, asymmetrical, or creates tension. Are there focal points or elements guiding your eye across the canvas? Also, observe the texture, whether it's thick and dynamic or subtle and smooth, as this impacts the emotional experience. If the painting has a title, think about how it relates to the work and whether it offers insight into the artist's intent. Learning about the artist's context or intent can deepen your understanding, especially with artists tied to specific movements or beliefs. Abstract art allows for personal interpretation. Reflect on the emotions it evokes, or the concepts it makes you consider, like space, time, or energy. Abstract art doesn't always have a single meaning. Trust your intuition and let the work resonate with you. Abstract art is more about expressing something personal, emotional, or conceptual. By considering some of these points, you can set yourself up for a deeper appreciation and understanding of abstract paintings. From Hilma af Klint's spiritual visions to the emotional freedom of abstract expressionism, from Basquiat's raw energy to the innovative voices of today, abstract art has consistently pushed the boundaries of creative expression. This is the legacy of abstract art, a legacy that continues to evolve, inspire, and challenge us, inviting us to look deeper and question what art can truly be. Feel free to subscribe, hit the like button, or leave a comment, question, or suggestion below.
This has been a
Foo and Coo.
video production.